Hello, my beautiful friends. I am so glad you're back here in the kitchen with me. If you're new here, my name is Vicki-Lynne. I follow a plant-based diet. I cook oil-free. And for January, the end of December, January, and maybe February, we'll see how things go, I'm doing a Use It Up challenge. So I'll put some of my other videos up here. I'm very embarrassed with the amount of food that we had in our fridge, freezers, and pantries. Things need to get used up so fresh stock can be brought in. So I am challenging myself to use up what I have in my house at the moment. And if that interests you, stick with me. I have some great recipes. I always have great recipes, super simple. Some of these recipes aren't mine today, and I will give kudos to the recipe writers on those. And again, I looked at what I had and what I was kind of in the mood for. It is frigid here at the moment, and I automatically thought chili would be a great thing because I always have canned tomatoes, and I actually had to I wanted to use up some of the quinoa that I had left over. So I checked my little pantry over there, and I have a whole bunch of aduki beans that I haven't had in a long time. So I actually cooked those up yesterday, so they've chilled out. And we're going to get into this. So I already showed you, or I'll show you what we're dealing with. Let me put that in here for you. This is what I'm pulling out of my pantry to do my meal prep this week. I have my flax flour, which I'm going to use for flax eggs. I have some leftover quinoa that's going in the chili, and the crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, also chili. I have some TVP back there if I want to bulk up my chili a little bit. And I did cook, let me grab these for you. I had azuki beans, so I cooked those yesterday. Figured that would be a great option for the chili. Also had a package of the stir-fried peppers that has onions and peppers in it, which I thought would be perfect to throw in the chili. I have an onion left over. I'm going to do some potatoes that I'm trying to use up. A carrot and zucchini. So how I basically did this meal prep, or starting for the week, is I knew my zucchini had to be used, so I looked up a couple of great recipes, and we are going to make some baked zucchini oatmeal and some brownies with the zucchini and a chili. So that's going to use up quite a bit. And I'm pretty proud of how well I am doing so far with this challenge. It has been pretty simple so far. So I'm going to cook some potatoes so I can do my potato salad and just some russet potatoes, so that we'll have those cooked and waiting in the fridge for whenever I want to do 50-50 plates, or just have fries or whatever, hash browns, anything like that that's low fat. And again, I am trying to get through what I have. So I am plant-based. There is going to be some oil, not in my recipes, but some of the items that I'm eating out of my freezer and stuff. So I just wanted to preference that so everybody knows what's going on. I really wanted to stop having so many mock meats and stuff in my diet and be, 99% plant-based. Anyway, so I'm going to make today is a zucchini oatmeal, as I mentioned earlier. That's going to be super easy. And I'm also going to make with the same, I have 2 zucchinis, they need to get used up. And with the other one, I'm going to make brownies with zucchini in them, which is awesome. And a chili to get started, and then the potato. So again, that's a lot. Plus we actually already made our huge salad. So as you know, my husband's not vegan, but so we try to do a big salad every week. And that's just great for us on the go. And so most of this was stuff that we had already in the fridge. So the mushrooms, the beets, the sweet peppers, and the carrot. The only thing we bought so far, he did go for some groceries yesterday, was some fresh fruits and veg, which were the salad items. But we still kept it toned down. Got some bananas, some tomatoes, things like that. So our salad is set to go. Let's get our potatoes into the Instant Pot, and we'll get those moving. And then we're going to move on to bake our oatmeal. And we can bake our oatmeal and our brownies at the same time. So we'll do those recipes first, put those in, and then we'll get going on the chili. So for both of our oatmeal recipes, we need flax eggs, so we're going to get those started. And I just want to welcome you. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you dropped by here. I hope you find some tip or trick or recipe that excites you and makes you want to have at least one plant-based meal or vegan meal. I know there's, the fine line between being vegan and being plant-based. We're not going to. Either way, we're saving animals and we're doing something better for our health and the planet. So I also have a Facebook group. Look down below. Come join us over there. It's Get Healthy with the Starch Solution. And we just do some fun little challenges, things like that, and we share some information. Would love it if you join me over there. And I also have a free ebook. Do not forget to go get your free ebook. It's down at my website. Just go to my website and click on the link and get your free ebook. It's all on how to meal prep on the Starch Solution. So it just gives you tips and tricks on how to shop, how to plan, and some of the easiest favorite meals that I make on the Starch Solution to start with. So now that we got that all out of the way, let's make a couple of flax eggs. So one recipe needs 2 flax eggs and one needs 1. And to make your flax egg, you just need a ground flax flour or meal. And I buy mine in the seeds and grind it myself. And I just grind enough that I need for whatever the week, because I do try to have flax in my diet at least 1 tablespoon a day, depending on what I'm having. So let me show you how to make those. To make a flax egg, you need 1 tablespoon of flax meal to 3 tablespoons of water. So this one I need the 2, and then I'm going to add in the water, 3 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons. And then you're just going to let it sit and gel for about 5 or 10 minutes. Now we need to grate our zucchini. I'm going to grate it all, and whatever I don't use in the 2 recipes, I'm going to just throw in the chili, because more deliciousness. So I have my zucchini grated. The recipe actually doesn't say to squeeze it, or I can't seem to find that. I thought I read that somewhere, but I don't see it. Anyway, I'm going to just wring out some of the extra moisture, just because I know that zucchini can be really wet. And I'm just putting it in a clean tea towel, and then I'm just going to give it a little squeeze and get rid of a little bit of the water. So I'm not going to do it a lot, so it's super dry, but just so that some of the excess water is out. So we're going to get our zucchini bread baked oatmeal going. And if I didn't mention, I'm using recipes from Faith at Conscientious Eater. She is amazing. I love her, have followed her for years. And I do love all of her recipes. I am going to swap out any oil for applesauce, just to keep this oil free. So we're going to, as you can see, the flax egg has gelled up, which is exactly what we wanted. So let's get mixing with our ingredients. So flax egg, 1.5 cups of plant-based milk, 1/4 cup of coconut sugar, 2 tablespoons of oil, but in this case we're going to use applesauce, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. We're adding in our oats, and we're using rolled oats for this, and 1 cup of zucchini. It's a super simple recipe, full of great nutrients between the zucchini, the oats, plant-based milk. Now you need an 8x8 casserole dish, baking dish, whatever you have. You want to have your oven preheated to 350. And once that's all mixed together, pan. And there is some liquid that's going to get absorbed by the oats. Don't you worry. Everything will disperse. Oh, I'm excited for this. First recipe down. Now that we're on a roll, let's get our zucchini brownies done. So we have, again, preheated our oven. We have an 8x8 pan. So this is the pan that I'm using, and I'm actually lining it with some parchment paper just to make it easier to get out. We are going to put in our coconut sugar. Now this does call for a lot of sugar. So I think I'm going to half the sugar, or only 2/3 of the sugar. And then I'm going to up the applesauce. So it calls for oil, so I'm going to replace the oil with applesauce. And then I'm going to replace some of the sugar with applesauce. Now we're going to take our flax egg. Add in your flax egg. Give that a stir. Her recipe called for whole wheat flour. I'm actually just using white flour. You could use oat flour if you wanted to. Your cocoa powder. One and a half teaspoons of baking powder. A pinch of salt, because the salt will enhance the chocolate flavor, and we all want the enhanced chocolate flavor. We're going to add in our zucchini. Which is a cup of zucchini, and I'm going to give this just a little rough chop, just so we don't have long strands in our So if you have kids, this is a great way to hide vegetables and still keep it pretty healthy. Taking all the oil out. Now we're just going to mix in the zucchini, get the batter all mixed, and also some mini chocolate chips. About a half cup. You can always use clothespins to hold your paper in place, just to make spreading it a little bit easier. This is both going to go, they're both going to go in the oven now at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Please give it a thumbs up. It really does help with the algorithm, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and scooch on over and hit that little bell icon so you're notified every time one of my videos goes up, because you want to know how well I do on this use it up and if I can clear out my fridges and freezers. Again, loving it. So we're going to start with our chili now. And this is just super simple. We're dropping it in the pot and letting it cook, honestly. Everything we have is already pre-cooked, or the red vegetables. I am going to chop up these, this pepper stir-fry blend. I am going to chop it up just so that it's smaller. We don't get long shreds of the peppers and the onions in our chili. But that's simple. And I think because I have the quinoa and the extra zucchini left over, because I do probably have like another cup of zucchini left over, I don't think I'm going to add the TVP into it, but you could. You want it to bulk it up a little bit. Just remember to rehydrate your TVP, which stands for textured vegetable protein. FYI, I'm sorry. And this is great. It's shelf stable. It's great to keep in your pantry. And it's perfect in chilies, ground beef recipes. I have a chorizo recipe. If you love chorizo, you got to make your own. Anyway, I'll link that too. I get that on Amazon, super simple. So let's get the rest of our ingredients going for our chili. Just giving these a rough chop just so that they're more bite-sized, just in case, you know. They actually don't look like they're huge, so we should be fine. Gather all of your ingredients together. I like to get everything set up before I go. So I have my quinoa here. I'm going to open my cans because this recipe is going to go fast, and then we're going to simmer it. Get your pan heated. We're going to throw in whatever you're using for onions and peppers. Obviously, if you're using fresh ones, you're going to cook them a little bit longer. You're going to add in some garlic, as much or as little as you want. Powdered, fresh, minced, jarred, whatever. Use what you have. That's what we want to learn, is use what you have. Make delicious recipes with what you have. We're going to cook that just for a couple of minutes. We're going to let that cook down. Again, if you're using fresh, cook it a little bit longer. I'm going to add in some diced tomatoes. My can was for crushed tomatoes, which I'm going to add in also. And then just some tomato sauce. If you had tomato paste, you could use that instead. I actually don't have any in my freezer. Again, chili is a great use it up dish. Give those a stir to kind of incorporate. We're going to add in all of our spices. And I'll actually attach my video for this chili. It was one of my first videos. It's very cringy. I hope I'm better now, but at least the recipe's there. You can follow the recipe. I'm going to add in a couple of bay leaves, the quinoa, and a couple of cups of the aduki beans. Now, you could use black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, white beans. Any kind of bean is good in a chili. And now we're just going to let this cook for about 20 minutes on low. We want everything just to kind of melt together. You want the beans to get softer. And don't forget, I had that leftover zucchini. I'm gonna throw that in there. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna let that cook with the lid on for a little bit. Our potatoes are all cooked, and we're going to make our potato salad. So I've already chopped up some dill pickles. And again, if I had celery, I'd be putting celery in here. I actually don't have celery, but that's okay. Still gonna be delicious. Some chopped onion. Just whatever onion you have. Green onion, white onion, whatever. Okay. Then we're going to take our potatoes, and we're using the Yukon Golds. And I've let them cool down enough that they're easy enough to handle. Just going to cut them in half and then into chunks. You could peel your potatoes if you wanted to. I don't mind the skin, and it's extra fiber and goodness, nutrients. So you want your potatoes to still be warm so they absorb all of the liquid that we're going to add to them and the flavor, because that's where all the flavor is going to come from. So, get all those little guys into the party. Now, there is no exact recipe for this. It goes by your taste. You're going to put some pickle juice in here, some yellow mustard, and then I love this sweet and spicy mustard, and my husband adores it. And this is where you're getting all of your flavor from. Just be careful, it is really spicy and hot. I'm going to give this a nice mix. You want to coat everything with that pickle juice, and don't worry if there's pickle juice at the bottom. Your potatoes, when they're warm, will absorb all of that juice. I'm going to add a little bit of dried dill. If you have it, great. You don't have it, don't worry about it. You're still going to get that dilly taste from the dill pickle juice. Plus, you have a great use for your dill pickle juice. You're going to want to give it a try. Oh, that's spicy. That has a great kick for sure. Again, this sweet and spicy Northwestern, whatever mustard you guys have it in your area, it's amazing. It adds so much flavor and it's so delicious. I hope you give this potato salad a try. Well, look at this delicious pot of chili. So good, so warming. I can't wait to have that for supper tonight. And I'm going to freeze some of it. There's a lot there, so I'm going to freeze some of it. So prepping for next week, then I can pull it out next week and I'll have a couple of bowls next week. And then we have our zucchini baked oatmeal. Can't wait to have that tomorrow morning. And also these brownies, definitely going to, my husband will be all over those tonight. They look delicious. I can't wait to give them a try. Hi guys, thank you for joining me for this meal prep use it up challenge. I am so stoked. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to see what I'm eating out of my cupboards all month, or how long can I do this for? This is the question. I think I have so much here. I think I'm going to go into February for sure. Anyway, thank you so much. Hope to see you guys in the next one. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I love all my comments. And if you're trying to eat healthy, definitely get my ebook on how to meal prep. So until next time, guys, see you soon.